皆さん、こんにちは。あちらばらウィアムです。よろしくお願いします。今日はビデオを作ります。In today's video, I will go into talking about how I learned to write and speaking Japanese in general, or how am I learning experiences about the Japanese culture. So, I will go into tell you reasons why. Let's get started. Start. I started to learn Japanese since when I was in first year at university, since they don't have any classes who were doing on the major. So I made on the major in accounting when I was in the fall semester, and I switched into the music performance major. So that's what happened. That the lady said, so why not you can try Japanese? Because I decided to learn that. I highly recommend to learn Japanese with that. So I remember that since when I was in a KSU Jazz Fest, that the lady she's only a Japanese who is a sophomore. When I tried to speak with her, and then she said, do you say watashi? Because you know what happens to do that right now in here, because I decided I just gave it an idea to why this is still learning come from the inspiration of it. So this is why I basically learned it for about a year now, since I've been learning this from the textbook, like speaking, tried able to learn it with that. You know, if you probably don't know, Japanese has ranked number 3 in one of the most hardest languages in the world, and I currently passed 2 semesters because I got an A on Japanese. You know, it's a miracle for me to learn that. It's amazing though. I highly recommend that. But right now I'm on in a level 3 class in Japanese and on in a minor in Japanese. So I decided to continue with that. That was very cool. So another reason why I learned Japanese is because I just learned it from the textbook, speaking, practicing, and writing. So I highly suggest recommendation that I use Genki textbook. I use Genki number 1, so the Genki number 2 will be coming soon as a spring semester. So right now I'm on in level 9 tomorrow, because you see this is Kabuki. This is what the learning started about Japanese 2001. This is like in level 3 class. This is a highly recommendation to use this Genki textbook as a Japanese beginner for the first year, and this one feels fantastic. I highly recommend them to use that. So here is the fun fact reason. So the most fun fact is to meet one of the Japanese friends. So when I was in the spring semester, I started to meet one of the Japanese friends in person before, but they are polite and nice, just like us. They are friendly, and they are enjoying live better together for like in the 2 months. They are enjoying live better together, and it was amazing. So check out these photos. Koko wa boku no Nihonjin no tomodachi desu. For me, it reminds me that I live with them better together in my college. So this is what I said. Yeah, sorry for the delays. For me, it seems wonderful. How can I expect this since I met them before in college? It's a miracle for me as the first generation student and then the last person standing in my family. I felt speechless. So here's another reason, and a tip is to learn the hiragana first. So here's all the types of hiraganas we're gonna work it on today. So, but first, we're gonna start with this right here, like a, I, U, E, O. because there are not alphabets like ABCs, because the hiraganas are different. And then after hiragana, you're just able to learn katakana. It's even more precise because of the English characters for all those things. Another reason and another tip is to write and practice to one of those kanjis. So here's all the different kanjis that I just wrote to go over for about a year now. If you probably don't know what the kanji is, it's a type of a character of a writing experiences who uses as a Chinese character. When somebody was just able to learn that for a Japanese, any kind of stuff, that just to know how these words work, to learn that to one of them, to make it an even more sensitive quality. Another reason the why I basically learned the Japanese language is because the Japanese language is contains even more precise. It's not hard, not easy for me, because it looks like an average, just like a medium, between medium and hard or something like that. This is kind of a average, which is kind of close to each other for like those and things. I will try to able to learn and try something new on anything that I will learn this before and with this textbook, because if I learn that the Japanese in the future, because I will gotta go to the study abroad, I feel like I almost end up a little bit nervous, but I will not give it up on that, because I never traveled before, because I'm the first person that I'm not gonna travel with this before this, and they now travel from around the world. Because if this is the first time, it's kind of a miracle for me if my friends will be able to join to study abroad at the KSU. So I'll give you an update later and see how it goes. Here's another reason, and I'll show you the tips for you. So here it is. Here is my top 3, my own high recommendations to learn Japanese. Number 1 is to take it on one of the Japanese class. Number 2, listen to one of those Japanese teachers. And 3, just practice to write and speak Japanese as long as you could for over like 6 years. And another reason why I learned Japanese is because I just write kanji beautifully, because I've been using it with the pencil or maybe the pen. It feels like the kanji is kind of a little bit weird situation. So I'll show you the demonstration. Here we go. When I write, today is Monday, I personally just use this. When I write, I speak Japanese a little in Japanese. I write, "Boku wa chotto nihongo o hanashimasu." When I said I am Mexican, I'm a Mexican who was born and raised in the US. So I will write, "Boku wa Mexico-jin desu," or "Mexico-jin desu." And that's what I'm talking about. But this one is actually a kanji, which is the name of a person who is international, or who is like a person like Ichijin. But the only way to say is hitori, which means hitori. That's it. And another reason how I learned this is I just wanted to learn experiences about the Japanese culture, like foods, anime, and including the music as well, because you know, trying to learn these cultures is very much important, and have fun with it, because they are incredible, because they just didn't know how can this language come from, and then they just didn't know why they're still talking about it. I just learned 3 cultures, like American, Mexican, and including Japanese cultures, that I do that as well. My final tip, this is probably the most important way to improve the Japanese speaking, and including sounds and including the words, is to listen into the one of animes and cultures, and including teachers, music, and etc. So my personal favorite animes are Dragon Ball, and my personal favorite musicians are Miki Matsubara, Maria Takeuchi, Akina Nakamori, and Spitz. These musicians have a great Japanese word sounds, and I just listen to music like every time or anytime for over the last 2 years. Final reason is because I feel a little bit brave to learn Japanese. You know, this is my fun fact, because I just really like having experience is so further, because it is very hard to speak it. I didn't know about it. It's kind of even more precise. So I will need to practice for move on and keep it moving forward for that. And this is what basically how am I gonna expect this when I do some reason about it as a first generation student. And learning the languages is very much important if you want to learn the experiences about the international cultures, international speaking cultures, anywhere in the humanitarian and going global education process, to learn them with any kind of languages as a Japanese minor student and in the jazz performance majors. So that's all I do for today. And so go ahead, I'll move on to go to the KSU, doing the vlogs after the cover for that. So that is it. Okay, so in the next video I will going to play one of my favorite songs from Adele, which was a Rolling in the Deep, but I just really love this song very much. So I got my alto here, so I'll do it in the 5th cover. Just really love to play the alto. You know, I'm really an alto player at heart, but all the time. So okay, so anyways, that's it. So thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like it, comment, subscribe to my channel. If you want to follow me on social media, please leave the link in the description below. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I hope I'll see you in the next video. よろしくお願いします。ありがとうございます。またね。